3 for Medvedev.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. What the?
Ready. Play.
They were both in 21. What the hell? They haven't played in 4 years.
That's crazy.
2 guys that were right at the top of the game. One of them was in Mallorca.
Yeah, I know.
In Mallorca is in on grass. As in Casper Ruud played a grass tournament that wasn't Wimbledon.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Back in the young days. Did you see the golfing video?
The golf, yeah.
That was sick.
He's already ready. He's so
ready.
He's so ready.
He should low-key win this event now. Low-key.
What, Ruud?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should.
I
think he's probably favorite. I mean, I reckon Zverev was favorite.
Dude, this tournament. All right, we got Casper Ruud taking on Daniil Medvedev. Back in 2021, Medvedev won both of those matches. One of them on the grass in Mallorca. We know Ruud does not necessarily prefer that surface for the particular sport he does play, but he likes to golf. And then in the World Tour Finals, the semis, 4-2 for Medvedev. Obviously, a little bit better conditions for him. So, I mean, Ruud came off a good win today against Taylor Fritz. It's not easy playing him in the altitude. I think, he showed his, clay court prowess, but Fritzy had looks. And once again, Casper, fails to serve out a set. Same thing against Korda, being up a break, having a double break opportunity, gives it back, and then he's back on serve at 3-all. So, he's been prone to giving up these leads, but all in all, he's, clutched up down the stretch, winning both matches in straight sets. For Medvedev, it's been so far so good. A little bit of a rocky start today against Nakashima, but you have to give credit to Nakashima. He brought a good level. I was definitely impressed with that. So, I mean, it's clay, so you got to give the edge to Casper. But Medvedev, obviously, one of the best baseliners in the game. He looked good today. That backhand, he's really hitting strong with a lot of angle. It stays low on this surface, despite it being, high bouncing. But Ruud, typical playing that clay court game, heavy spin, very deep, just continuing to, make you prove that you can, handle the spin and, the backhand on the rise and, not playing too deep behind the baseline because, he's very, very good at coming up on short balls and taking care of them. So, yeah, I mean, all signs for me point to Casper, taking care of business. But at the same time, as I said, he's been up quite comfortably and handed over leads. And that's something you can't do against Medvedev. So what are you thinking going into this matchup, Fergus?
I mean, it's another close-ish one, but it's one of those where I feel like it could be 3-2, or it could go for 3 hours, and there kind of won't be an in-between. Ruud kind of showing today how Madrid kind of still suits his game. Everyone always talks about how this is his weakest of the clay masters. It's not as similar to Roland Garros as the clay style, but he outserved Fritz today, which is tough to do. Winning a high percentage of his first serve, and Fritz has it's I think the 6th best server on tour or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, good performance from him. Kind of needed it badly after last couple of weeks, losing all those points in Barcelona and Monte Carlo. But yeah, I don't know. Medvedev's kind of just been sneaking under the radar a little. Everyone's been talking about how he doesn't like this surface and how he kind of just sticks it out every year, and yet he still gets decent results. Well, decent. He's obviously won Masters on these surfaces. So yeah, but this matchup, I'll give it to Ruud because I feel as though he just has that edge because it's a clay, you know, and on a hard court, I'd give this to Medvedev every day of the week, but on a clay court, I feel as though Ruud kind of just feels more comfortable, and he won't be, I feel as though Medvedev had waves against Nakashima today where he was really good and then where he just kind of dipped his level. And, you do that against Ruud on a clay court and it's not going to work out for you. So I'll actually say Ruud in 2. I'll kind of, if Medvedev comes out, especially with the backhand this week, he's made a point this week of really going after his backhand and it has worked. But if it's not quite firing, I'm going to give it to Ruud in 2 close sets. But kind of it's tough. But I think Ruud's probably the safer option, but I think the right option.
Agreed. I mean, and Medi's going to have to serve huge. He's continuing to go after that second serve, kind of no matter at what point in the match, how much pressure's on it. And then another thing to think about, Fergus, is, look, I mean, we all have different opinions, but, the draws, kind of opening up, and Ruud is kind of seeing this as, all right, an opportunity. If he does beat Medvedev, he's taking on the winner of Cerundolo-Mensik, which, look, I mean, very tough player. Is it Zverev? Maybe not across the board, but, Cerundolo obviously brought it and deserved the win today. Mensik, I feel like, is almost a baby Zverev, in the making.
I feel like that's a fair comment, actually.
I might have to start that, by the way.
Yeah,
but
I feel like the backhand, the serve.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a valid point.
Yeah, maybe more similarities than I thought, but it's an opportunity, as you said, to get back on track. Lost a bunch of points. You just have to see it as an opportunity right now that you got to go out there and take it and continue to prove that you're one of the best clay courters in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you look at who we have left in the draw. So 16 players. So Tiafoe, Arnaldi, Draper, Paul, Dimitrov, Diallo, Dimonor, Musetti, Cerundolo, Mensik, Ruud, Medvedev. Anyway, what my point is that it's now we're creeping towards a situation where we are gonna most likely have a new Masters winner on the cards. Medvedev, Draper, and Dimitrov are the only. So there are 3 guys out of the 16 that have Masters. So we're looking at a potential situation where there's a new Masters winner on the card. Mensik. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mensik.
You're real. I see. There's actually only 12 players left because one side of the bracket is a day ahead of the other. So that's why.
Right. Yeah. I was like, what's going on? Yeah. But you understand my point. We're looking at a potential new Masters winner, and Ruud and Dimonor, they have to look at this as their biggest opportunity. Like, they know that they can beat any of these guys. And they know it. And whether they can take the opportunity or whether they start to feel a bit of a pressure and crack under it, it's going to be interesting to see. But they have to take this opportunity. Otherwise, I feel like it's almost too late for them. I mean, they've still got so many years on tour, but I feel like it's now or never, because no Sinner, no Zverev, no Djokovic, no Alcaraz.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.